Can we get angry cops out here to do some quality control on these drill sergeants that seem to be wilding out there? All due respect, it's a tough job out there. I understand that. Whatever happened to a true doing that anybody would expect from a drill sergeant? Has it gotten soft? That's the question here, because there are two examples that have been trending on social media that I've seen that I'm like, is this a commonality? Let me know. But
oh my fucking God!
if you guys like content like this, please consider hitting that subscribe button, as it will help push this video. Also hit the like button, as that will really help this video as well. And you can see some more great content as I'm uploading nearly every other day, at least multiple times a week, and doing live streams every Friday evening that you can tune into as well. I have to tell you this, I think the Navy has some yelling that is probably about the same. You guys think the Navy's soft, but I'm going to show you a clip right here where you're like, it's really not that much different.
Go! Go! Hurry up! Let's go! I said behind you! Behind you! Not next to you! You behind you!
Fix it! Pull yourself! Pull yourself!
Put your garbage away! Aye aye, Chief! That's how you sound off! Talk loud!
Aye aye, Chief.
He said get down to the last shirt with sleeves. Maybe I wasn't loud enough.
Now, you can also compare that to the Marine Corps. And I can tell you that this level of yelling is actually what I've seen in real life on a regular basis over at Marine Corps Recruit Depot. So it's not just for this Business Insider clip.
Why are you talking so slow to me like you think I'm gonna buy all this freaking dramatic crap? You better start sounding off with some freaking volume, short, sharp, and fast right freaking now.
On top of that, I have to ask, if you look at this video again, I see this kid and I'm like, he can't stand at attention properly, can't do a proper about face, he's not even able to stand in any military bearing fashion at all. His arms are flailing about, car doors peeked out, not even at his sides. Like, one of the first positions of any boot camp, basic training, whatever you want to call it, BMT, is attention. Learning how to stand at attention. That's it. I also have to note there is a kid behind this guy that is on crutches. You can tell he is scared shitless right now. And he's like, just stare at the ground. Do not look up. Do not pay attention, because you will be next and your head will be chopped off. This is the worst time to try and chew somebody out in a chow line. We all know after chow is the best time to lay into any trainee, recruit, whatever it is, because you have playtime with them. Be ready. Eat your food. Enjoy. Angry Cops wrote on this and he's like, he approves of this message. Rich, AC for short, the beholder of basement Jesus, I have to say, we need quality control. Intensive yelling. This is not peak performance here. We need to have it top tier level, especially if we're putting this stuff on TikTok. On top of that, I have to ask a very critical question here. I look at someone like Drill Sergeant Lynch, which is a person that creates content here on YouTube, that was literally hemmed up for making any videos about being a drill sergeant, that was told to stop and discontinue making those videos, etc. Then I see somebody posting this of trainees on their social media. I'm like, where does the line get drawn here, guys? I don't know. This is not the only type of soft drill sergeants that we're seeing out there, because it looks like there's a little beef between some drill sergeants going on over at TikTok. What is the sturdiest drill sergeant here? Is this like a high school accolade? Why is this a thing? Because I look at the other branch in comparison, the Marine Corps, which you don't see this happening. You know those drill instructors, if you see them sweat, they're changing their uniform. You can't even eat or drink in front of the recruits. So I'm looking at the Army and I'm like, is this what we're doing? Also, you're dancing in front of your 60% APR sports car that's American made. Jeez, let's get some quality control, AC. Now, it does look like that drill sergeant has been receiving a little bit of beef towards him, as it looks like another drill sergeant from Fort Benning, where they train all the infantry trainees at, has kind of chimed in as far as his role as a AIT drill sergeant, which is kind of like after boot camp, your entry level training. And he says this.
Well, so there was another video on TikTok. I forget the NCO that did it, but I don't know. There was a quarrel between 11 Bravo. I guess that 11 Bravo was being disrespectful, and the support NCO was calling out the 11 Bravo, saying that we all go through the same training, yada yada, that there's no difference between AIT and black and gold phase and OSIT. The only thing you don't do in OSIT is switch bunks, and you do. Well, this video is prime example of what goes on in AIT, all right? And it will not go on in OSIT, all right? Prime example, all right? I don't know what they do in AIT. I guess they got different rules. They're allowed to have their phones during the week or whatever, but not in OSIT, all right? Here in Fort Benning, they get their phones once a week, all right? Time, it depends on the commander, but I just want to put that out there. The reason I talk so much crap about what goes on in AIT is because of videos like this. Because only in AIT is where you get videos like this. And you're never going to see that in OSIT.
Now, I do respect this drill sergeant because he makes a very valid point, but I have to say this, as most people are going to annotate this in the comments down below. A phone call every single week? What do you have? Is mom do weekly visitations as well to feed him? Because the Navy doesn't even do that. God forbid somebody goes on a deployment out here and can't talk every single night. But it does look like that original TikToker has come back and kind of spoken his mind about this situation, and kind of claims that he has it harder as a AIT drill sergeant versus a drill sergeant that has to be at a basic training site.
So I'm gonna squash this beef once and for all. There's this misconception that basic training does more work than AIT, and all AIT does is march them to class, and that's it, aka sidewalk drills. Let's go. So, do I personally think basic training drill sergeants do more work? Yes, but is it harder work than what an AIT drill has to do? Let's talk about it. In basic, you're getting people fresh off the streets from their couch, right? Discipline is being instilled right then and there. I almost treat them like cattle. Don't get offended by when I say that. Basically, you tell them to do something, they do it. If not, they get in very big trouble. By the end of it, they're very squared away, parade rest, position of attention. They know when to salute. They know what to do. And by they, I mean the trainees. So with basic training, you're trying to get them qualified on their weapon, make them understand customs and courtesies, and stuff like that. Honestly, very basic tasks, just like your warrior tasks and battle drills. Luckily, you have a team full of drill sergeants to help you out, but yes, the hours suck, especially in red phase. Now let's talk about AIT. While yes, the AIT drills do have a period of time when the students are in class, but in that time, they're dealing with pay issues, BAH issues, housing issues, airborne liaisons, reserve liaisons, National Guard liaisons. When the students are coming up on orders, when they're about to graduate, we have to make sure that their orders are being processed correctly. We need to make sure that they get to their unit. Oh, fuck, they have a pay issue. But damn, they don't even know how to read an ERB, so we got to teach them about reading an ERB. We got specialists that enlist because their recruiter told them that OCS is not an option, or they should go to basic training first, and blah, blah, blah. So now it's my job to make sure that they understand the difference between OCS and green to gold and what their options are. And my favorite, which really threw me back, is the UCMJ process. I have seen tons of basic trainings graduate trainees that probably shouldn't have graduated, and then they become problems at AIT. And then we have to do the UCMJ process. And holy shit, in my short time of being a drill sergeant, that seems like a lot of work. All while still going to the range, teach them warrior task and battle drills. And get this. In basic training, if there's a problem, you handle it right then and there, because guess what? You have the trainees all day. In AIT, you have the trainees from before PT all the way up until class, and then after class, they come to you. When do you think the problems come? About 1,700 after class.
I can tell you that the fact that they send people to go be drill sergeants to go kind of, I would say, babysit students while they're in AIT baffles me, because I'm like, we send people to A school all the time and we still march them and do all these same exact things this guy does. My perspective on this, you cannot compare your role as a AIT drill sergeant, and I can say this because training command similarities, I can tell you that it is very similar across the boards. I know that when they go to their basic schooling for their MOS, etc. You cannot compare a kid from the street, literally first day of the military, that you have to instill every bit of military within a more confined space, that you have to live, eat, and breathe it. You don't have a chance to be off. Easier, or should be easier, to maintain that level of discipline from that initial entry point of training to where you're at over at AIT. If anything, you have a leg up to be like, you know better. You were taught that over at basic training. You were taught that by your drill sergeants. You should already know that, right? Because you went through basic training at one point and you know what they teach over there. The only benefit I would say from the people that are getting them from the streets, they're in that moment of beyond scared straight, and they actually have a little bit of fear inside them. And when I say soft, I'm like, you're mad because you're doing administrative work to get people plane tickets to go to their commands, make sure they have liaisons that are going to be where they're going to be received at to have good sponsorship, and they know where they're supposed to be because they're lost in the sauce. Recruits or trainees previously go to AIT and they're brand new soldiers. This is for every single military branch. And you're also upset that you're crushing hopes and dreams of people that have bachelor's degrees that are probably mad they didn't get to go officer because a recruiter lied to them. Yes, you have to tell them about the green to gold program where they could commission. But are any of these people going to be directly commissioning straight out of AIT? Probably not. So give them the source information, say, check out his website, go through a slider or whatnot, be like, keep this on your pulse, right? But realize, like, your job right now is to train, get to your first command, and actually start processing through that if you're really trying to do that. He throws a little bit of shade over at the drill sergeants that are at basic training and saying that there are people that shouldn't have made it through boot camp. I understand there are gatekeepers, and that is kind of the job of a drill sergeant, correct? I understand to properly assess people if they've met the criteria and requirements to be a U.S. Army soldier. If they meet the qualifications, if they meet the evolutions that were required to be done, and they have passed all those successfully, congrats. You are going to be a U.S. Army soldier. Remember, this is basic training and not impossible training. This isn't Ranger School. This is not Navy SEALs. There are people that are not really made for the military that are going to make it through, do their one enlistment, and call it done. And the Army's going to get their money out of them, and they're going to get their GI Bill, and they're going to leave. So those are my thoughts on the softening of drill sergeants in the Army. I know Angry Cops is going to see this. If you do, we need to take you back through train the drill sergeants, train drill sergeants, because I've seen some of the videos of you laying into them. The sarcastic, kind of off tone is really what destroys the soul, and I can really appreciate that skill because it's a hard skill to have, and we really need some of that in today's military. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, because I find this very important, as I think the future of our armed services is great, and kind of how we can best train the future of our military and people that are coming in as a new generation rolls in, and we adapt to that. Please let me know down in the comments down below. But as always, if you guys support this channel, you can support over at patreon.com for special perks and benefits. On top of that, you can also get some special perks and benefits here on YouTube on the join button below this video or on the main channel as well. If you do have questions about this or anything else, you can always hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, down in the comments below. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.